All right, guys, we are rolling episode 31.
31, lucky 31. We are live in the guard.
Seems like we've done more.
Man, I think we did 500 by now. What the hell's going on here? Because there's been like 500 fight nights. Speaking of which, I think it's because we have fight nights like this makes it seem a little bit longer. Coming off of UFC Vegas 40, Aspen Ladd versus Norma Dumont. And I think the biggest battle of this fight was Aspen Ladd and Jim West, right? That was the biggest fight going on in the cage for 5 rounds.
Well, we chatted a little bit about this prior to rolling, you know. I mean, I think we all kind of agree. Like, we didn't really hear.
What's interesting is they cut a whole promo for Aspen Ladd of his style of coaching before this fight.
Yeah.
Doing the same shit to hype the fight. Now
I
it's
mean,
a problem.
He was firm. He was assertive. He used bad words, but he didn't call her any names. He didn't say, "Listen here, you fucking bitch," or nothing like that, you piece of shit. He was like, "You gotta fucking go. What are you doing?"
Last time he does it, she goes out there and knocks the chick right the fuck out within
and
3 seconds of the round.
And then meanwhile, you have guys like John Kavanaugh who tells fucking what's Johnny Walker, "Oh, you're up 3 rounds. You're up this and that.
Yeah.
You're doing great. Keep doing this." Give me Jim West any fucking day of the fucking week. Give me a guy that's going to tell me, you know what, you're a piece of shit. I'd rather hear that than some bullshit that I'm winning when you know clearly you're down. Like Aspen Ladd for those first, especially 3 rounds, did nothing.
Yeah.
She really did nothing wrong. Like she didn't look bad out there. She just really didn't do anything. And they kind of looked at each other for a little bit. Norma Dumont landed her jab, and that's all we had to talk about. But I think Ladd had like 3 or 4 strikes in the first 3 rounds, like some ridiculously low number. It was terrible, and he was trying to wake her up. That's all he was trying to do. And he kept saying positive thing. You got cardio for days. Go beat this broad. You got this. You got to throw. Sit on your power. You got like all this shit. He's telling her what you can do. You can knock this bitch out. What are you doing?
Yeah.
He's all talking her up. Yeah, he was firm and assertive. But I think the only reason it's a deal is because Aspen Ladd's a woman. If Aspen Ladd was a male fighter, nobody would say anything about what just happened yesterday, which is kind of fucked up. What if the
roles are reversed? What was the female coach saying it to a male?
They'd be like, "Oh, that woman's stepping up. There you go. That's a badass boss bitch, right? That's what they would be saying." Like,
yeah, who was the boxer that had the female trainer and she beat the shit out of him, man.
Fucking Marina Rodriguez, his coach slaps her in the face before the fight.
Right.
To get her going.
Claudia Gadelia's coach pours fucking ice down her crotch.
Yeah, they get going. Hey, I fucking in powerlifting meets had some back slaps before you go squats by a fucking big gorillas that with chalk on your back to slap the shit out of you. Like it's an aggressive sport. He's trying to get her. Aspen Ladd has some of the biggest ground and pound in women's history. If she can get somebody down to the floor, she almost got fucking Norma Dumont towards the end. I think it was the 3rd or the 4th round. She started laying some of that ground and pound in and started showing up. He was trying to get that out of her. We talked about it before. She did it, was her last fight, and she came out and fucked Kunisky up.
In like 10 seconds.
Like, came out and did it. So, like, this is what he does. This is what she does. He knows what he has to do to get out of his fighter. She hasn't
fired him, so that's saying something, right?
Right.
That's what she wants.
He's gotten her to where she's at.
Maybe she's paying him to do that. Did y'all ever think about that?
And I would totally get it if he was, like, said, totally come at her, "Listen, you stupid fucking bitch, you know, all this." Like, no, he was firm. He said, "You're down 3 rounds," which he was. "You need to go." Even at first, like, when she lost the first round, he said something like, "Oh, you're down that round. You need to come back and get this one. Don't get reckless, but you got to get more assertive." Like, he was calm with it. And then as it progressed.
And saying, like, don't be not stupid or careless.
Careless.
Like, don't be careless. That doesn't mean be careless, but
as it progressed, like, wait, now you got to be careless because we're fucking down 4-0. Now you got to be careless. Let's go. So as it wasn't, the calmer stuff wasn't working, he started turning it up. And I don't see any problem with what he did. If I'm in there with a fight, I would love a coach to tell me something like that. Because, again...
How did your football coaches teach you when you're...
I'll tell you what. I wish they were as nice as Jim fucking West. For less, the shit they would say...
They'd make you run laps.
Listen, the big story in football right now is John Gruden. Let me just tell you this. I'm not surprised by any words that he fucking used in those emails. Right. All right? Because that's how every football coach I've ever heard in my life talk. And I was like, yeah, I believe he said every one of those because I've heard it. I've seen it. I've done it. I've been used towards me. Any F word, B word, any word you want, any kind of slurs, I've been called it by a coach. Sometimes like, "Coach, I'm not even that race. What are you calling me?" Like, what are you doing? I'm a white guy. But so, again, that's kind of hard coaching.
Colorblind.
Yeah. I guess that's equality, right? It's equality we yearn for.
Well, Jim West apologizes, which... does he do it because he means it, or does he do it because
the mob?
The mob situation? Because Cormier came out and said that he supports what happened in that fight, and that you need to. I disagree. I've heard much worse from my coaches, and coaches know how his athletes will respond. I prefer this to some of the other cornering we've seen lately. Hashtag
Again, like
old school.
what did he say that was so bad?
Here's what I think too. I actually talked to Jed Goodman about this today. We were going back and forth on Twitter, but if he had to apologize to anybody, him and Aspen had a conversation between them for sure. He owes no apology to anybody else. He doesn't go on Twitter to the NBA, MMA fans, any Aspen Lads fans, anybody else. Now, if Aspen Lad had an issue with the way he was coaching and she brought up to him after, that's a conversation between them. That's her as a fighter. She could have any coach that she wants. She could be honestly coached any way that she wants. She could choose to change the coach. That's between them. But he does not owe an apology to anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, she was losing. He was telling her, trying to motivate. I mean, I'd be interested to hear like what Teddy Atlas would think about this. You know,
man. I mean, if you watched fucking what's Deontay Wilder's coach in the last fight, motherfucker, what you doing? You got to knock this motherfucker out. You got a gift from God, motherfucker. So many motherfuckers left and right.
Yeah.
Like right. It just happened last week, and even on that undercard. It was almost the same thing. The Nigerian dude against the fucking Cuban Flash.
I don't think any of this, like you were saying, it's not about the language that's being said or how he's doing it. It's a man talking.
It's
down to a
intimidating
woman.
of a man yelling at a woman. That's what it looked like, and it's the optics of that. And I can even understand some people feeling that way because it looks so bad. And obviously, we have this domestic violence shit going down in the UFC or MMA right now,
Right.
And it looks like that. But this was not. This was coaching. This is what coaches.
Yeah, I mean, those two spend 5 days a week with each other at least in
Right.
the fucking gym. They spend. I mean, she might spend more time with him than she does with her boyfriend.
Yeah,
or
4 to
husband
6 hours a day, probably.
And and if Aspen Ladd would have came out and fired up and knocked Norma Dumont out, nobody's talking about it.
nobody's
Nobody's
saying
talking about, or if anything, it's hey, wow, look at that brilliant
Yeah, look at
coaching.
that was
that
great
motivational.
coaching.
It
Yeah,
spun the
exactly.
opposite way. This is why she lost because you were
Right.
condescending and you.
No,
Wrecked her morale.
by the time she started ripping her ass, she's already lost the fight. It was over by that time without a miracle knockout, which sadly was the most to talk about that whole fight. Other than that, there was nothing going on. This card on paper looked like a pile of shit, and it did not disappoint. It was a big old pile of shit from start to finish in a division that really doesn't need to exist, right? That featherweight division.
Yeah.
There's nobody really in it. We were trying to talk about this off air, me and Tony, that like I don't understand why Aspen Ladd chose to try to cut these weight, right? Essentially, the same women that fight in featherweight, they fight in bantamweight. The champion is the same person that you're chasing. Why are you putting yourself through hell to cut this weight? You're going to come across this. Now, there is some bantamweights that have not fought at featherweight, but I'm pretty sure there is no people in that division that haven't fought at bantamweight as well. Like the Holly Holmes and Norma Dumonts and GDR. Like they all have fought at 135 as well. So you're basically fighting the same women. Why are you doing this to yourself?
Yeah.
That's what they should be talking about Jim West. What the fuck are you doing, Jim West? Why are you making me cut this weight when I'm fighting the same fucking people? That's a criticism you should give him for that. But in that division, that puts Norma Dumont number one contender because I guess we can look at it right now. There's nobody else listed in that division.
Featherweight.
Women's featherweight,
I think
yeah.
there's another match coming up with Spencer and somebody, right?
Flyweight.
Fed's already
strawweight,
lost.
Featherweight.
Look at there's nobody there. She's number one contender. Let's go. After she fucks up Pena, she should fight Pena and Dumont in the same night.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, so
Open the card and end the card.
She's
Book it.
fighting Pena at bantamweight, though, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. She should fight them both in the same night.
all right. Well, let's move on to the Chicago favorite.
Good fight. Good solid fight.
Was it a unanimous decision?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
Okay.
Arlovsky, Felipe.
I thought it was split.
Which
Was
I
it-
could see it being unanimous because I could see the way I saw this fight, Andre Arlovsky and Carlos Boy Philippe. Arlovsky definitely wins round one. I don't think there's anybody that's going to sway from that at all. He's in charge, kept the distance. Philippe really didn't throw much in round number one. All Arlovsky. Round two was back and forth as even it comes. I believe it was 31-31 on strikes. And it's all on the feet. There was no grappling, so it was basically on toes. So that could have gone either fucking way. So if all three judges happen to think that Arlovsky won that one,
Yeah.
I can see that. Round three was definitely Philippe. He even knocked him down. He came out. Philippe has this, and I tweeted about it. I joked about it with Tony. Like, here we go. Philippe split decision again. And it was a split decision, wasn't
That's
it?
what I thought it was a
No,
split.
it says this
I know, but I
unanimous
thought
here.
it was split.
I thought it was announced split. There was a split decision on the card yesterday for sure. Again, they all kind of blended together. People, it was not. It was not my favorite UFC
No, it
card
was
I've ever watched.
unanimous. It was unanimous.
Where was it? What was the split?
29.
The split was Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts
Was
was
the
split.
split. It was not my favorite card to watch. But anyway, it was kind of the typical Carlos Philippe fight where he kind of gets in these firefights, picks it up as the fight goes. He has great cardio. I just don't think that he is a heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like the thing. You look back, you could argue that he lost the Collier fight. And
Well,
who's-
anytime
who-
you get a
and who-
decision,
yeah, and
right?
who was the other guy that he won split on? I can't remember. But he won 2 splits in a row, right? And we
He
thought
beat
that was
Tafa.
It was Tafa, and it was Collier.
He had 3 in a row. Who was the other one?
Was it Castro?
Yeah, Cash. I think he finished Castro, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, decision, all of them.
Yeah.
So again, he fights close fights. It's because he's all hands.
Yeah.
He has. I mean, I don't know if he has enough. He does not throw any kicks. He doesn't really grapple much. He just sits there and he wants to box with you. I think he might be a better future as a boxer.
Yeah.
Given the shallowness of the heavyweight
All right,
division.
yeah, like
right?
you say, he's got to drop. Or
Or drop at 205.
He's not a very big
Because he
guy.
did drop Arlovsky in round number 3, and I think his power just does not translate to heavyweight that well. But what's he, like 230 when he weighs in 240? And we guess what? That's not 230 in muscle, right? That's a little bit too much picanha. That's why he's in the heavyweight division, right? If he cut down to 205, I think a lot of these shots that rock people a little bit or kind of get them off might be putting those 205ers to sleep.
Yeah, Arlovsky's a natural heavyweight.
A
Big dude, 6'4",
big
some
dude.
change. What?
He's not big at all, and he's 245 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's not like
he's
some
solid.
big tank.
Yeah.
Like, there's no weight to lose for that guy. He's not going to 205 no matter
No.
what he tries to do.
Yeah.
So again, Arlovsky wins. Arlovsky shows if you are willing to just point and fight with him, he can beat you.
Yeah, so that's how I saw this fight going. I'm like, it's going to be the tailor-made match for Arlovsky to win this.
I thought that Philippe would be able to pull him into a firefight, and
Yeah.
historically, even
He's
not
not a
recently,
heavy hitter like Aspinall who could put him
and
out.
Arlovsky's known to get hit on a button.
Yeah.
He gets sloppy, and gets hit
But
on
I
a
think
button. That's his
Arlovsky didn't
biggest
have
knock.
that fear like he had against Aspinall and things like that. So,
He got hit on the button though. Round 3, he got close. He did survive it, and he got back
he had the
up.
big beard, though. Sometimes that helps. He grew it out.
And then somebody tweeted, the UFC judges just love Andre Arlovsky. Like, no, Andre Arlovsky is a fucking veteran. He
Yeah.
knows how to edge out close rounds. Again, round 2 could have went to either fighter. Like, legitimately, you can argue it either way. He knows how to win a round like that, and that's why he won this fight. Is he ever going to be elite again? No.
No. He's
Absolutely
what, 40
not.
something years
But
old?
you keep giving him these fighters, these mid-level fighters. He can hang with any mid-level fighter.
All right, let's keep rolling. Jim Miller.
Speaking of old men,
Didn't see this one. But
Jim Miller,
he gets
Ghost
it
Pepper
done.
Gonzalez. It was awesome fight, honestly. The first round, Jim Miller gets rocked by Eric Gonzalez. Eric Gonzalez comes out aggressive, ready to go. Like, I'm going to knock off this legend. I'm going to get this, this notch on my belt. Miller, being a veteran, weathers the storm. He gets rocked, shoots in at the legs, kind of, gets himself back together, survives the round. And in round 3, Miller just fucking ices Gonzalez.
I saw that. It was a right hand, right?
Yeah, right in the
Yeah.
middle of the fucking cage. Puts him
he
out.
threw a lazy kick and got
That's
smoked.
the most fights in the UFC.
He's got the most appearances. Yeah.
Most appearances in UFC, most wins he just got yesterday, and I believe he has 50 career pro fights.
He has 30-something UFC appearances?
Yeah.
It's up there.
Yeah, well,
38?
Yeah, it's funny with him and Arlovsky going back to back. Arlovsky's first fight in the UFC was in the year 2000. There's a lot of people watching this or listening to this podcast or watching that with a beer in their hand that wasn't born when Arlovsky fucking had his first fight in the UFC. How crazy
There it
is
is.
that?
It's up there, Jody.
Well, it has he's 32 and 16.
I think it said there's an article right there. It
Earns
said in
his
38th UFC
UFC
fight.
fight.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
He said he fought in UFC 100. He fought at 200. He said his goal is to fight for 300. I'm gonna go and say there's no fucking way he fights UFC 300. That's 30 pay-per-views from now, or no, 33.
That's 10 years from now.
I think 270.
No, wait, how many they do
270 is in January, right?
They do one
Yeah.
every.
Every
they're
month.
doing
One
a
a
lot
month.
now.
One a
One a
month.
month.
No, one a month.
So
So that's 30 months. That's almost 3 years.
3 years.
There's
Maybe.
no way.
He fights
Maybe.
1 or 2 fights a year.
He's in his
Oh.
40s. And then he's got to get on that card. 300 is going to be a giant card. What's he going to be at that age? There's no fucking way.
Well, I mean, he's coming off of 2 losses.
Well, he beat
right?
Lyme disease. He can beat these foos.
That hurts him. That's going to hurt him too. Is his
Put him on
stamina.
Food's Gone
That's
Wild,
why
Jody.
Jim Miller early in the fight is super, super going. He's still going now. He's going to get some of these. Who was he supposed to fight? Who backed out?
Oh, man.
On the Jim Miller fight?
Yeah, because Eric Gonzalez was the last second replacement. The Ghost Pepper, great nickname by the way. He had a big Ghost Pepper tattoo on his forearm. Too.
That's pretty dope.
God damn it.
Somebody backed out. A10.
And he was supposed to fight.
Mata. We actually brought this up last week in the podcast. The same exact argument in question. So he's kind of fighting these fresh out of the contender series guys. That's kind of where he's at right now. And honestly, I'm gonna start to think that if Dana gives a contender series fighter Jim Miller, he doesn't like him.
Yeah.
because that's a tough first fucking fight.
Maybe he's gonna give that new guy to him. Yeah, that he signed that he wasn't supposed to sign. Did we talk about
No,
that?
Hadley.
We didn't bring up Hadley.
We'll talk about contender series
Yeah.
later. But no, Hadley's flyweight.
Oh, he's
Is
flyweight.
that the
Look.
one with the kid? When
Yeah.
he was a kid, he
Yeah.
wanted to be the fighter?
And he was
Yeah,
an
and he was
asshole
like
all week,
he was being an
whatever.
asshole to everybody at the Apex.
Yeah,
or
but Jim
something.
Miller moves on. Eric Gonzalez, he might get another shot. We'll see. He showed up on short notice. Dana loves these guys that are willing to fight in short notice.
Yeah.
Make
I
yourself
think if you show up short notice, you should get a second chance.
get
for
a full camp in there for sure. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
All right, let's keep rolling.
My girl. Manon.
I did see the first round of this.
This was a fun fight.
Yeah, it's pretty competitive.
Manon Ferrer, the beast, who I think has potential to give Valentina a test. She's not ready yet, though. Let's not
Yeah.
rush this versus Mayra Buena Silva, her
Toughest-
toughest test to the date.
yeah.
But Mayra Buena Silva just wanted to taunt. She didn't
Yeah.
want to fight. She spent the
came
whole
out hot.
She spent the whole fight acting like her punches didn't hurt, right?
Yeah.
Which may be the case. Like,
Oh, that one, and then she got kicked in the
yeah,
chest.
yeah, she kept getting hit, and maybe they didn't physically hurt her, but guess what? You're still losing the fucking fight if they're landing. So all that taunting does nothing. You're losing. She's hitting you left and right. Manon, we all know she had great striking and kickboxing background. She's fought in two grapplers, Lombardo and
Ricci.
Baby Shark.
Who's a strawweight.
Yeah. Training partner with Mackenzie Dern. So she's fought two grapplers. Maya Benazir was definitely the best all-around fighter she's fought so far. Someone that can hang with her on the feet, looked pretty decent with her on the feet, and also had the advantage of her on the ground, which she actually took her down, though. She showed some
Yeah,
takedowns, and she showed she can last 3 rounds and not falter. Her wind was still there. Her hand speed is ridiculous on Fiora, and she still had that in round number 3. She's
Shit.
give her a top 15 fighter.
Give her one more and give her to Valentina. There's nobody else.
No, that's a big jump, man.
Come on. Let's do it.
I would let's look at that top 15. And what is it in flyweight?
Let's see here.
I think end of next year.
Flyweight. Casey O'Neill. Jessica I.
I would give her KG Lee. They're probably gonna end up giving her Roxy. Poor Roxy. Poor Roxy's gonna get
just
fucked
got
up.
her ass beat.
They're probably gonna give her Roxy because that's who they give people. They're not gonna want to give her Macy. They want them to cross. They don't want any of these two to cross paths. They don't want
Yeah.
Fiora and those two to cross paths yet.
Shit,
But
Casey O'Neill's a
These are the
problem.
two they're gonna look for. It's gonna be Andrea Lee and Matafari. I'd give Santos to fucking. Talia Santos deserves a shot at fucking Valentina. Who did she just beat the shit out of?
Who?
Calvillo, was it?
Roxanne.
Oh, Roxanne, yeah. Who just beat Calvillo? It was a terrible fight.
Andrade.
Andrade, oh yeah. We can't give Andrade back. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
She
yet.
got manhandled.
That was not even close. But yeah, Fiora, again, slow burn this one. Let's not throw her in there too quick. She's not ready yet,
Yeah.
but she can be.
All right, let's move to the opening fight
This one
of
I
the main
saw.
card.
This was my
God
boy.
damn it.
I'm so disappointed in myself, Nate. The best promo in UFC versus Mr. Highlight Ludwig Klein, who needs to change his fucking name because he has one highlight in his career and that's it. That head kick.
The head kick don't hit. It's over.
Nate Landwehr is a fucking wild man who kind of came out reserved, but a guy who's not afraid to get in a firefight. You know, had one of that classic fight with Darren Elkins where they beat the shit out of each other for 3 rounds, edged out that decision. Had the best 30-second fight ever with the Julian Rosa. He got knocked out twice, and Rosa got knocked out once in the same round. Came out reserved in this fight versus Ludwig Klein, who was a big one of the biggest favorites of the night.
Yeah.
One of
The biggest, wasn't he?
For sure. I don't know if exactly, but he's like minus 500 at one point.
Let me see here.
I mean, he even landed the head
Minus
kick, but
300.
I think
Nate ate it.
closed. I think it closed at minus 500.
Yeah, to plus 245.
It was a huge favorite. And Nate came out under control. Klein had a couple decent, moments in round number 1, but he looked like he was getting gassed, and he looked like he was getting frustrated by Landwehr too because he wouldn't go away. He'd land certain things. It wasn't really affecting Landwehr, and Landwehr just ended up going right through him, stepping through his strikes and knocking him around with the strikes, and finally knocks him down into kind of a club and sub in round 3.
Yeah, I just saw that Nate was just able to grapple.
He almost got the Darce or slash Anaconda in round 2.
Yeah, he finished it up in 3.
In 3, he got.
I thought he
locked
was
in
going
there.
out in 2. I was
He's a big dude for 145, man. He's a thick, tall dude. He was much bigger than Klein. Klein might want to think about bantamweight because Landwehr looked noticeably bigger than he did, and Klein doesn't have much body fat on him whatsoever, so I don't know how he can get down lower. But man, he's
pretty shredded.
He's not going to be a factor at 145.
I think he's a one-hit wonder, maybe.
Yeah, that's what it looks like for that. Word, Nate, get him going. Give him a top 15.
Keep him going,
guy.
Dana.
Let's look at that featherweight division. Let's get that real quick. I want to see Nate get a top 15 guy, and we want a guy that wants to bang with him, right? So let's see.
Volkanovski. Give him Volkanovski.
No.
Give him Shane Burgos.
No.
Come on.
Give him the man who's been ducking him since Russia.
Evelev.
Movsar Evelev. Now, Nate Landwehr, from Cooksville, Tennessee, and you can hear it in his voice every time he talks, right? He's as country as it gets. Spent a lot of time in Russia fighting, right? Movsar Evelev was like the man over there when he was there, the champ, but they always kind of ducked him. Like they kind of kept him away from each other because Nate's a fucking madman, and they want to build Evelev up, right? I think it was in M1 or K1, whatever the
M1.
M1. Evelev comes to the UFC. This fight was supposed to happen at the end of last year, right? Was it? And it got canceled. Somebody missed weight or somebody got sick or something like that, COVID relations. And they've kind of never been able to cross paths. That's the fight I want to see. I know Landwehr wants it too. So let's go Evelev and Landwehr. I think that'd be an awesome fight.
All right. And
Klein, I don't care to see ever again.
all right, let's go to the undercard.
This is one of the craziest fights.
Yeah, this one I saw. This one was nuts.
Andrew El Dirty Sanchez versus
He blew his load, man.
Bruno Silva.
Dirty Sanchez blew his load.
Blew his load, not finishing.
With too many nut kicks.
He edged too long.
With too many cock shots. Hey, but with too many cock shots, too. He had like 3-4 low blows in the fight.
Like you're 6 for 6 edging, then oh, fuck. Damn, I had that one.
You got to work on his tantra, right?
Yeah, those Kegels. Ooh, squeeze.
It's been a year.
7 fucking takedowns, though.
Oh, he dominated for 75 for 2.5 rounds.
He's whooping his ass.
Totally had to grab. Although I would say at the ground, Silva would start throwing some crazy elbows from the bottom.
Shit, yeah.
He was causing some damage. But Dirty Sanchez, former UFC Ultimate Fighter champion, great wrestler, and it showed. He was totally just dominate, top heavy. I joked around and called him Andrew Sanchez Medvedev, whatever.
Yeah.
Put a little thing at the end. It was a total domination, but he had like 3 or 4 low blows to the point in round 3 they took a point away.
Well, it was looking like it might be a draw. If he was going to lose that round.
And that kind of, I don't know if it woke up Silva or he knew he was in the fight now because he lost that point. And he just turned it on, and Sanchez had nothing left in the tank.
Sanchez, was just
he was
empty.
out on his feet, and Silva, who we knew was the better striker, was the favorite to win this fight. And he finally just let it all loose in that third round. I got that standing finish.
Silva's got to work on that grappling, though.
Yeah.
They're welterweights, right?
Yes, I mean, and there's some big grapplers in that division, too. If you don't want to come
fucking
across.
heavy grappling.
Yeah, like if you come across a Sean Brady.
Fucking, I mean, you got what? Usman, fucking Covington.
Yeah, but before you did, you got to worry about Sean Brady.
Yeah.
And there's also my boy Hamzat floating around there. Who's not on that list.
Yeah. Chiesa.
All right, let's keep rolling. This one had a Did you guys see the?
I only seen bits and pieces of this one.
Oh wait, let me see.
This was a sketchy finish that kind of benefited me.
Yeah, it looks like from numbers in the 2 rounds I saw, I thought Amib won the first 2 rounds.
Well, here's what happened yesterday. There was back-to-back fights where fighters won from defending takedowns.
Yeah, as Carolina should have lost that fight too.
Same thing, but the same situation as Roberts, who the judges in there were really favoring takedown defenses because Roberts did stop about 10 takedowns.
Look, I get it if you're defending it and you're striking while you're defending it, maybe. Like if you're in bottom and you're in closed guard, you're throwing elbows like Silva was doing.
Is that
right in the
this
hairline?
Fight,
yeah,
Danny Roberts.
Yeah, it was gashed. I was bleeding a lot. It was bleeding a lot in the fight. We couldn't tell. I first couldn't tell who it.
Look at
who was
coming from. God.
First fight in a long time for Roberts too, right?
Dude, that's bad. That's bad. Fuck.
Yeah. There's an elbow, right?
Ooh, is that the back of his head?
After his fight, Danny Roberts, per fucking Dana White's IG. I mean, that's
it's a top.
Probably a good 3-4 inches across.
Yeah, that's a vagina. It was an unkept vagina. That's what it looks like.
Ooh, on the rag.
Gosh. That's pretty brutal.
Yeah. But he edged out the fight again.
And he got the W.
Sketchy decision for sure. I mean, he won. Like I said, we were kind of talking about it. There's the fight we'll talk about next. The same thing happened. He basically defended all of Amib's takedowns and was able to scramble, get back to the top. He showed good scrambling skills. He was a better striker than Amib too.
Yeah.
Well, he's 42 to 67 here.
Amib had a lot of strikes in the clinch, but when they were standing at distance, Danny Roberts had the edge, and that's why Amib kept kind of close the distance on him. 2 of what? 2 of 7.
Yeah, 2 of 7.
Yeah. They rewarded him. He got a takedown of his own too. There was. I think Amib probably should have won this fight. 30-27, though, I didn't get.
Yeah, for Roberts.
Yeah,
right?
I did not get that whatsoever.
It's like the Paul Felder shit.
But, Danny Roberts moves on, gets the win. Amib, he might be getting cut from the UFC. Not because of his record, but he has never finished a fight. And if you're going to keep getting decisions, UFC don't like people like
what's that contract looking like?
UFC don't like guys like that, and especially if you get to the point where you lose a guy. Again, Danny Roberts has been out for a while. He was kind of an up and coming prospect at one point. So maybe he is going to turn a corner. This might be a turning point where Danny Roberts becomes
I think they kind
superstar.
of set this up for Amib to win this.
Right.
fight.
This is definitely for Amib to get a win, and he lost. And because when you fight to decisions, this is what happens. And we'll talk about it again with the next fight too with Lupe Godinez. You have to go to finish a fight because you never know what that judge is seeing in that chair. Right. And that's why it cost Amib the fight.
Well, let's jump into that fight.
And that's exactly what happened in this fight too. Lupe Godinez, the big the belle of the ball last week, or taking 2 fights back-to-back weeks versus Luana Carolina.
I didn't realize there was that much of a strike disparity though.
Well, because a lot of times the Godinez we press against the cage, and Carolina's throwing strikes to kind of hit her to break her off, and those counts of strikes as they're going through that. Lupe, first round, definitely 100% her, arguably a 10-8. Because she did have her. If there was 10 seconds left in that round, the fight's over.
Maybe, yeah, because she was going to finish.
She was going to finish her with that armbar for sure. Lupe is becoming the woman that I will never bet on.
Yeah,
she's a great fighter. She'll probably win a lot of fights, but her fight IQ is awful. Her UFC debut versus Jessica Penne, she lost that based on IQ. That's when the infamous power bomb happened twice, right?
2 power bombs.
2 power bombs in the fight. She was better fighter than Jessica Penne for sure, but she was dumb enough to get wrapped up in that back take 3 or 4 times, and she lost that fight. Even her win last week versus I forget her name. Her armbar victory last week, she was in dominant position.
Gomez Suarez.
And she gave up that dominant position to get a belly down armbar, which worked out for her, but that's not a good choice. She was a knee on belly. Again, yesterday, she was even in dominant position again where she could have landed some ground and pound, but she was trying to work a submission. Like she has to get these little things cleaned up or she's going to lose fight like this every single time because there's really not much to talk about with Luana Carolina. She looks solid. She has good striking.
Decent hands.
Nice hands. She did look better at distance for sure, but she did not stop Lupe from walking through. Lupe would walk right through her punches.
Lupe also short notice but stepping up a weight class too. So
and she was able to push her around the cage.
I don't think she loses too much stock from it, but she's got to improve that.
She's got her decision making in the cage. Again, IQ sounds like it's an insult. No, it's a term for fighting, right? She needs to make better decisions when she's in there. Because again, if she would just stayed on top, knee on belly, or even half guard with Carolina, she could have beat the shit out of her and ended that fight in the ground in the first round. But she wanted to sit there and try to hunt the sub. If you don't hunt the sub, let the sub come to you. Hit them to open it up, right? I get, she's a grappler by nature, so that's her natural thing to go for. But man, she could have just had that ground and pound victory. Yeah. But again, 2 fights in 1 week, still awesome.
7 days, right? She's got the record.
Right.
All right, didn't see this one, but
woo,
Donna,
the Mongolian murderer.
He must have laid a big one.
The Storm is Mongolian murderer. They changed his name when he came to the UFC. He's always known as the Mongolian murderer. Versus Brandon Killer B. Davis. He got killed. Batgirl is how you say. I always thought it was Batgirl.
Batgirl. I mean, I like Batgirl better.
But Batgirl
Bat-gerbil.
throws fucking bombs. 3 straight first round knockouts, and he caught Brandon Davis, who came in with that tall guy defense. Chin up. Didn't really do much to stop Batgirl. I kind of like Brandon Davis as an underdog in coming into this fight. Thought he has I think he's a live dog going in.
We'd never been knocked out before.
And he's had some good competition. Like he fought in the UFC a few years ago. He got booted out, but it's because he fought some top competition and lost some close decisions in those fights. Again, Giga decision where he almost won that fight. Kang, another good fighter.
Costa.
He beat Costa. He beat Randy Costa. Zabit. Like he's not Barzal. He's not fighting bad fighters.
Yeah.
He's losing decisions to these guys. He did get subbed by Zabit, but Zabit's a fucking animal who's coming back soon, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah. So I thought maybe Davis had a shot. Batgirl hadn't really been tested. He did knock out everybody he fought, but this is the biggest step up in competition for sure. And he answered the fucking challenge because he fucking hits hard. I think Brandon Davis' soul left his body when he hit him with that fucking right. He does not throw jabs. All right, Batgirl goes for fucking blood, and he caught Davis early in the first round. And let's give this guy. I guess he's like there's only Francis Ngannou, and there's only one other person has a longer knockout streak to him right now. 3 straight knockout victories and first round knockouts.
Damn.
Yeah. So give him some.
what weight class is he in?
What's it, Bantam?
Bantam, I think 135.
No, 145. Look like
145?
Giga and all them.
Oh.
When you fight Giga, you fight
So he is bantam?
flyweight or no featherweight. I'm sorry, featherweight.
So I mean, does he start getting these top 15 guys?
That might be a little bit of a jump up, but I mean, Shane Burgos is always there, right?
Topuria needs a fight, right? Somebody backed out.
Yeah, Topuria would love to fight him too. I guarantee it. Topuria will fuck him up though.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the opening fight of the night.
This one I missed.
This was definitely an opening fight. Good card part. Ariane Canellosi versus Estela Nunes. Nunes actually had some decent striking, and she kind of showed it, but she is not a mixed martial artist. Like, she is good. If everything, she stayed kickboxing or something like that, she has some good hands. But the minute that Canellosi would get in her face, she'd kind of get, shaken up.
Arms.
Yeah, fucking huge.
Both these women have had USADA suspensions. So they both. Canellosi reminds me a lot of Andrade. Very similar style. Blocky, comes in there, throws hard, slams you around, and she had to sub in round 3. Kind of spent most of the fight pressing against the cage and kind of instilling her will on Nunes. But anytime there was some separation, Nunes did have some hands for her. But again, Canellosi back-to-back wins now, and I believe she is at that strawweight division too.
She's jacked.
Yeah, I think she is in strawweight too.
Yeah, she's strawweight.
Yeah.
So it's time to give her somebody with a little bit of a name, right?
Which is
Felice
Angela
Herod,
Hill.
Angela Hill. Let's go Angela Hill.
Interesting.
Yeah. Watterson.
Jandiroba would be an interesting fight too.
Yeah. Jandiroba's fighting though. Who's she fighting?
I don't know, but I know they match up pretty well, I guess. But I think Angela Hill will be a good fight for her. Interesting matchup too, because Angela Hill.
Stop! I already know where you're going. Hebas.
Hebas versus Rob Schneider.
What's the one in Big Daddy?
No, the one in
51st Dates. 51st Dates.
This is my good eye.
Yeah.
And that's basically what UFC Vegas 40 was.
Yeah.
A bunch of jokes going on. We got a little bit better card coming down the pike next week. I think this is the first card, definitely in a long time, that there was no ranked people on. There was not one ranked fighter in the whole fucking card.
Wow.
How did our whiskey and wagers do?
I did all right in
Mike
the sports
did
book, but I got totally fucking my ass raped in the fucking DraftKings.
So did I.
Washed. It became a wash in the night. But I was hitting. I took Danny Roberts live after round number 1. He ended up stealing that decision there. I had Canellosi by get the job done by finish. What else did I have in there? I had a few other ones. I could look this up right now. But
Klein killed you on that one, yeah.
Yeah, Klein killed me in my knockout parlay. But yeah, I was up well on the sports book, but again, DraftKings, I did not cash one lineup yesterday.
Yeah.
I fucking got hit so hard, so basically this was a wash in the night for me.
Yeah.
And head-to-head picks, Tony technically wins because he's winning and we were even. So when you're in the lead and we're tied, it's a win for him, right?
Yeah.
We were both 6-3 last night.
Yeah.
So moving forward, I'm running out of time.
All right.
Running out of time and running out of butthole hair.
I had a few snooze fights in the last couple of weeks, but I think we're
about to hit the ground running the next 3 weeks, right? Get some momentum here with this next Costa Vettori one.
Yeah, let's pull up on tap.
Does the winner of this get a title shot?
I hope not.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, they both just fought Izzy.
Yeah, I hope not. Costa Vettori. Okay, I've sat on it a little bit. I don't know. It's hard. I'm
going Costa.
I'm on Vettori.
I fucking hate Marvin Vettori. Yeah. He's such a piece of shit. I'm sorry. Like, he's such a crybaby. Like, how are you such a whiner? He actually thinks he beat Izzy both those fights.
Yeah, I know. What he said was shocking.
Like, he wasn't better than me. He was just smarter than me.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, we know that. But, like, everyone's smarter than me. That's nothing.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything, Marvin. Why do you think you won that fight? Where?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sick of him crying and whining.
I just think he might be able to get Costa down.
Costa's going to put him the fuck to sleep.
Be nice.
Costa's going to shut
I'd
him
like
up.
to see it.
Costa's been sitting down for a while. We saw Costa.
Who did better against Izzy?
Vittori, I guess. He didn't get knocked out.
Technically, yeah.
That's true, right?
But, I mean, I guarantee you, fucking Marvin Vettori fought Yoel Romero. He's not going to be dropping Yoel Romero.
No.
Right.
And Costa did drop Romero.
Yeah, this could be the story. Like, Vettori can't get Costa down. I think Costa might turn out his fucking lights because he's more aggressive than Izzy is, obviously. He's going to come forward. He's going to throw those
And he's going to put him to fucking sleep.
cannons he has his arms.
He's not going to be. I don't think Vittori's going to be able to get him down because, again, Yoel Romero could not get Costa down. I don't think Vittori's going to win the grappling. I think Costa's going to knock him out. We forget how good Costa is because what Izzy did.
Vittori's coming in as a favorite here.
He's hot right now and he's been in the cage more.
I think I put money on Costa for that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all on Costa.
Yeah, that's
for
dog
that.
or pass for sure.
I'm all on Costa. Vettori didn't even look that impressive versus fucking Holland. He laid on top of Holland for sure, but that was it. And Holland's on short notice. I think Costa ices him in this. It's main event, so maybe the second round.
Let's see if they've got some shit. not yet.
Well, let's roll to Grant Dawson and Ricky Glenn.
I think Grant Dawson.
There's
gets
another
this one done.
5-rounder.
Yeah, I think I don't want to count out Ricky Glenn.
three.
He
It's
surprises
3
me,
rounds.
but I think Grant Dawson
Oh,
gets
yeah,
it done.
is. I
He's won
looked
6
at
in a
it
row.
backwards.
Yeah.
On a 6 fight. That last fight though, he's losing to the last minute. Then he comes out with the ground and pound. I think in
Yeah.
the last second.
Hey, Grant Dawson.
Yeah.
I think it's what's going to happen. It's definitely was set up for Grant Dawson to get a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, because who did he fight recently? Santos. And then Glenn Silva.
Yeah, I think Grant Dawson.
He has a tougher strength to schedule too. I think this is going to be a kind of an ass shaping, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep rolling.
Jessica Rose Clark returning after a long while.
Yeah, I like Jocelyn Edwards.
Yeah,
She's
she
a
fights.
good fighter. She
Yeah.
comes at especially as an underdog. She's an underdog in this fight.
Yeah, I think she's gonna win. I don't know.
She
There's a lot
was-
of.
it was a great fight with her and Carol Hossa. Carol Hossa, I mean.
This is at what 135, 125
It's happening at Bantamweight, yeah.
135.
bantam. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did so she fought last at bantam? Edwards did.
Yes. She had that first win at Fight
Carl
Island, right?
Rosa.
Rosa lost to her and then beat Yanan Wu. Okay.
But who's her loss? Who did she just lose to?
Who?
Or she won?
Carl Hosa.
Hossa. And who'd she beat? That was on Fight Island, wasn't
Yanan
it?
Wu.
Yeah, that was on Fight. She even that Hossa fight Rosa fight was really, really close. She's a tough fighter, up and comer. You can tell she, has to learn a couple of tools. But again, she's a younger fighter, learning as she goes. I think she comes in here and she's been more active, obviously, than Jessica Rose Clark.
Jessica Rose Clark's got some injuries she's been dealing with and shit. I think she's finally ready to go. But
Pretty
Again,
evenly.
I don't know.
I like Jocelyn.
I'd go
Edwards in this
Edwards,
fight.
too.
110 for Edwards.
What's the reach? I know Edwards is long, but
70.
yeah, Edwards. I think she's
And
a
she's
piece,
taller,
I think
yeah.
she's a piece star from the outside. I know she's a
Yeah.
tall, lanky fighter.
Yeah.
10th Planet Vegas. Sorry, Etchy bra.
Next fight.
Oh, you're Hurricane Ike.
No fucking way,
Man, this guy's gonna ground and pound him.
dude. Hurricane Ike's gonna knock the fuck out. Nick, I'm not gonna try to say the name. Nick was a Contender Series guy.
I don't know. I don't know much about
That
him.
name sounds familiar. I watched it somewhere.
He split decision.
Beat
Oh, I
Kamer.
remember the Kamer
He
fight.
beat Kamer. Lost to Safarov.
I mean, the talk of this fight is Hurricane Ike. I'm not fucking picking Hurricane Ike to fight. After who got iced in that fight for the body shots? Pratchino beat the
Yeah.
fuck out of him in a body kick. Yeah,
He's only beat the
Bene-
my most terrible pick
the
of all
worst
time.
fighter in the world. Yeah, I'm going in the ground, and this is what's set up for it.
Yeah.
It'll be a huge upset if Ike wins. You might want to play a little bit of Hurricane Ike against DraftKings as an underdog because he could catch him and knock him out because he does have knockout power.
Yeah.
But that's just a pray. It's a prayer.
Well,
It's
let's
a
see
dark
what
throw
the
for
That
line
ain't
sure.
happening.
is
He's gone
here.
after this one, I think.
Oh, it doesn't. They're not even showing that fight.
Yeah, they probably. I wouldn't sell that fight
They
either.
haven't updated.
This handsome fucking K-pop
Man, yeah.
motherfucker. What's that fucking group? BTS?
Yeah.
Alex.
So we got Sung
He
Woo
was
Choi,
from the Alt Contender.
Man, he's
or
been around for a long
Ultimate
time.
Fighter, right?
Yeah, Ultimate Fight.
Bruce Leroy.
Bruce
Yeah.
Leroy. That's right.
Yeah.
He beat my boy
He's
Crew.
got a bunch of wins.
He's won 4 in a row.
He
Yeah.
beat your boy Hooper.
Yeah.
And he beat
Kevin
Crew, my boy Kevin Crew.
Springer and Hooper. Yeah,
Hooper.
that's not really.
He is locking the door. He lost to
lost
Steven
to
Peterson.
Gracie.
Yeah, no, he beat Steven. He lost to Crone.
Hey, Crone Gracie's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right. He may not be the best striker, but he will take
I
strikes
think
for
he's
it.
getting smoked this fight, though.
You think Bruce Leroy's getting smoked?
Yeah.
The Choi's the one that just knocked
I
out
mean, I
Rosa.
guess he's 10.
Choi 6 foot, so he's a big dude, man.
Oh, he is.
Who did he just beat at his last fight?
Who did?
Sting. Choi.
Rosa.
Yeah, Rosa. I
Rosa.
remember that fight. That was at. We were at fucking
Yeah, he's
Outback.
beat Zalal,
We were at
too.
Outback when he
Yeah.
iced him that fight.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
does
You
he get
just,
a finish though?
yeah, like Leroy is tough. I mean, I don't know.
Leroy's tough.
Leroy's
he
the
could-
underdog.
Trinaldo's fighting again. What the, he just fought.
Masaranduba.
Yeah, so he's underdog.
Here's what Caceres going to do. He's going to stay on the outside. I think he's going to avoid any big shots. Right?
Yeah.
Can Choi win a decision? I think Caceres is going to hang around in this
We'll
fight.
see.
Right?
Yeah.
We know that Choi has the power edge, the
I mean,
size
he won
edge.
that unanimous against Alal,
Yeah, at least his law doesn't.
and another
Yeah.
unanimous against, however you say, Suman Mkhitaryan. They think.
I mean, Choi should be the favorite in this fight.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But,
They think it's going to go to decision.
yeah, because I don't think he's going to finish Caceres.
Well,
We'll see. You can't count him out. It's
Let's
4
hear
in a
it.
row.
4 in a row, and he keep locking the gate, but sooner or later that luck runs out,
Could
right?
this be a night of underdogs barking? you know?
All right, Dwight
I
Grant.
think I like the dog in this next one, too.
Yeah.
Trinaldo.
Dwight Grant, Trinaldo, you just never know, man. Like, 42, but he fucking goes hard. 43.
43.
He just turned
Never
43.
been finished, right?
Yeah.
He
Never
come
been
off
finished.
a loss with.
Salikov.
He gave the King of Kung Fu everything he can handle. in that
Knocked
fight,
out
too.
Jai Herbert, decision McDessie, Bobby Green. What's the
Dwight-
reach?
I
mean,
70.
God.
He's got.
But
minus
Dwight's
6.5.
Dwight's no
inches.
spring chicken
They're the
himself.
same fucking age, basically.
37,
They grew up together. They the same era.
I'm gonna
Lost
go.
to D-Rod.
I'm gonna go with Trinaldo here. His cardio's always good. He fucking, you know.
It's gonna go to decision. That's the bet you play for sure. I think maybe Dwight does outpoint him, but Trinaldo.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah, you don't know.
He's not going to finish this fight. Dwight Grant is just not motivating. He's not inspiring.
Yeah.
He does not make you want to pick him.
Yeah.
And Trinaldo, man, the guy's fucking. I'm just gonna go because it's kind of the same age, but 43 is pretty fucking.
Yeah. What's your rule? You don't
Never
bet-
pick guy over 40. Never pick guy over 40. So unless it's a heavyweight.
It's Andre Arlovsky.
Souza. We don't even have to talk about this
This
one.
is the prelim. Top of the prelims.
Marcos ain't winning this shit.
Oh, she's coming off
Hey,
4
was this- is
straight
this the
losses. Ooh.
Who was Marcos fighting her last fight? And got it's like Pinero.
Yeah. And
She had the
then
DQ. She
Murata,
looked pretty. I
lost
don't
to
know.
No, she's getting thrown around, wasn't she?
Dern, Hibas. I mean, she's losing to good people.
Yeah, I think Souza's gonna get
If
this done.
but if she takes Souza down or something, that'd be like my concern.
I mean, I bet she's
Armbar from guard situation.
heavy
Yeah.
freaking favorite here. Let's see.
Yeah, it's hard for me to fucking tell the Richie's fight, huh?
They don't even have her listed here.
Love it.
Do.
No, baby shark.
That's what she walks out to.
All right, Jeff Molina.
Who's this Lacerda
I
guy?
don't know. You take a fucking picture in her garage, though.
11-1, 5 in a row for Jeff Molina.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going with Jeff Molina.
That 14-1 looks to me like it's fucking gassed up in Brazil, which sometimes they give these guys these fights that kind of they add a couple wins.
This
on
guy's
there.
at Glory. His Glory Kraus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Krause all the way. He's got 5-fight win streak. I'm going Molina.
Yeah,
too.
let's do Molina.
It's hard to bet against that guy. You got to have a good reason to bet against James Krause.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, the
Oh,
turtle
the Iron Turtle.
versus RoboCop.
Okay, this is
Why is this
interesting.
not the main event? The
Yeah.
Iron Turtle versus RoboCop. Like, come on.
Is this gonna play out on the ground probably, or it might play out on the feet?
Dude, I'm going Iron Turtle in this fucking
Yeah,
fight.
Iron Turtle as
RoboCop's
well.
going to be way bigger, probably more power, but man,
Yeah.
Iron Turtle's my boy.
Yeah.
He's looked
And
so
plus, now
fucking good lately.
And also the new DK scoring. I might want him. He just pepper shots.
Man,
He's
I
gonna
fucking
strike
love
out
the
like
Iron
400
Turtle,
strikes just from.
Yeah,
Put-
there's
put-
it's a DraftKings.
Yeah, you got to play him on DraftKings
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
mean, Greg Rodriguez is live to knock him out, though, too.
Yeah.
He has some fucking... Who did he just... Dusko. He beat the
Yeah.
fuck out of Dusko.
I don't know. Dusko's Dusko though. I like the Iron Turtle as well.
LFA.
He has some sloppy striking, though. He's
Hittable.
but He's hittable
Yeah.
for sure. Dusko's hitting him.
Yeah.
I'm going Turtle. Give me that. Drop my phone.
Going turtle. Always go turtle. All right.
Baby
Richie
Shark.
Oliveira.
Where the fuck is this from? Fucking Snapchat?
Yeah. TikTok.
She's on a plane or she's in a bus. She's on her way.
I'm going to Tabitha
She's
Ritchie.
in a van,
Tabitha
yeah.
Ritchie is, like I said, Mackenzie Dern's training partner. She was undefeated. For some
Girl
reason,
got a lot of size on her.
her
though.
camp told her to go in there and fight Manon Fiorot in a short notice fight.
Up a weight class.
Up a weight class against a fucking monster. Got there too soon, and she hung in there round one, and then Fiorot's hands just kind of let her loose. Richie's a great grappler. I think she's gonna get this fight to the ground, and she's gonna fucking strangle this chick off.
Yeah, if not, she's got a big,
I don't
big
know.
reach
She's
disadvantage
ranked number 20. You know, Maria's
In
ranked
Brazil.
20.
in Brazil. She's
Fucking
67
Brazil puts
world,
out some badasses.
worldwide.
the 67 worldwide is better than 20 in Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I guess that is a difference
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
huh?
again, Tabitha Ritchie has, and she got that ass.
Yeah, she's fucking.
She got that
she's
ass.
I'll
fun
be
to look-
blocking
she's-
with her ass.
She's fun to look at.
Just me. Like she changes the game. The Venom shorts.
Yeah.
It's like a sports
All
car.
right. Got two more
Kama and
fights.
Jai. I'm going Kama worthy on this.
Ooh, man.
I hate Jai
the
Herbert.
Black Country Banger.
They're both coming off of 2 losses.
The Death Star. Kama's
Yeah,
fought better
I'll go with
fighters,
Kama
though.
Worthy.
Kama Worthy's got 2. He lost. Who knocked him out? Chaos, wasn't it? Malarkey.
Malarkey.
And
Yeah.
time.
And Malarkey's looking good, you know?
Oh yeah, right. It was Al Hassan that Chaos knocked. Yeah, Kama Worthy's fought better fighters. I don't like Jai Herbert whatsoever. I'll never pick Jai Herbert. Fuck Jai Herbert. He's a boring striker. How bad is that?
Yeah.
He reminded me of what was his KB Bueller.
Oh God, that guy's awful.
That's what he reminds me of. Like the same type of style. Terrible.
Yeah,
All right,
Kamaworthy should win that fight for sure.
Let's see.
Staropoli, we talked about
this
this
fight got
one.
taken off the last
Yeah.
fight. We both were kind of on Staropoli on this.
Yeah.
Lots of losses coming into this
God,
fight.
look at that reach, though. Fuck.
Staropoli fought up a weight class though, and he got basically gorilla fucked by Doladize,
Yeah.
which he probably shouldn't have fought that fight. Versus Jamie Pickett. Jamie Pickett is usually tough to finish, but fucking got knocked out by the Beverly Hills Ninja in his last fight.
Yeah, but I mean, that dude hits hard though, Jordan Wright.
Yeah, but he couldn't fucking knock out Buckley and took the chair.
They're saying Strapoli is the favorite.
I like
to win.
Strapoli. It's
Yeah,
going to end
let's
up
see.
mostly on the feet, and I think Strapoli's going to point strike him. He's a better striker than
La
Pickett.
Plata.
All right. Well, that's
Let's see if this one, how much
Fight
better this
Night
card is than the last
It
one.
looks better already.
41.
Just looking at the people in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, even just that main event.
And 12 bouts. Can I please get more bouts for fucking DraftKings? This 10-9 fight shit.
Yeah, we've had a good stretch of no COVID cancellations, right?
Right.
We've been doing pretty good there. So I don't know. I guess if what's your your lock of the night? Which fight
Oh
here?
shit.
I'm going to go with fucking Nick Negramano, whatever his name is. My lock of the night's Ike Villanueva is going to lose. That's my lock. That's my lock.
Man, that's tough.
What do you think?
I don't think it's that tough. I don't think it's that tough.
Yeah, I don't know.
John Young Park.
I bet you she bought that hat.
No, I don't know. That's a tough one too.
Dude, come on. It's Ike Villanueva.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to pick the same one as you though.
Yeah.
I
If
have
it's
to
the
go-
right pick, it's the right pick.
Give me Grant Dawson.
That's probably
Alright.
probably this other one too. But yeah, always bet against Ike. It's a good call. Unless it's Meniscus. Vinicius. Whatever that guy's name is.
All right, well, let's go through a little bit of the drama of the week. We already kind of talked about, the Jim West apologizing, Cormier kind of backing Jim West. Aspen Ladd apologizes for her cornering. And then apparently John Jones
Yeah.
is not allowed in
We
Jackson
saw
Wink
this.
Gym.
But they're training him
Yeah.
Still? Well, like he just can't
off
go to
site.
the gym?
They're training him off site.
Yeah.
Do you think someone at the gym is like, oh, motherfucker?
No, I think it's all just-
That was just
Theater.
That was just again for the for the public to say this, but yeah, he's still training with their team off site.
Huh.
So it's just all for fucking show. I mean, I guess. I think that's the least of the worries of John Jones training. In fact, that might be better to get him to get in there and train to keep him out of trouble, right?
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
John Jones' problem when he leaves the gym. Like when he's at the gym, that's the best place for John Jones to be. He's great
he's
there.
been posting on IG regularly, working out.
Yeah. Like
Getting it
that's
done.
where you want John Jones at, because that's when you know what he's doing. you got what's going on. When you tell him not to go to the gym, that's where the problems start.
I
right?
mean, honestly, they might be doing it to keep him. I'm sure there's fucking cameras and press people at the gym, and if he's working out at home, it's hard to catch.
And that's
him
probably a
or
big thing
interview.
too about it too. Like they don't want the circus, everybody else
Right.
training there. You got to
Right.
answer questions. Just getting in and out is probably a pain in the ass if John Jones is there.
Right. All right, let's keep rolling here. Oh, did we talk about the BMF fight?
3 pieces in a soda.
Yeah.
Edwards versus Masvidal. Edwards wants the BMF belt. Did you hear this?
Edwards can get knocked the fuck out.
You think that's what's gonna
I
happen?
think that's what's gonna
Masvidal
happen.
loses.
I think Masvidal loses.
I think Masvidal knocks him the fuck out. He couldn't fucking stop him in the back of the street. Why can't he trap him here?
Fair point.
I mean, I think
you've
I
seen
would. I
Diaz
think I
wobbling.
lean Masvidal in this fight just because of like the Nick Diaz. Like I see Masvidal as a better Nick Diaz.
And Masvidal beat the fuck out of Nick Diaz.
Yeah.
He beat the shit out of Nick
Right.
Diaz.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't
Nick
even close.
Diaz, did lose that fight to Edwards, but
We can't like Masvidal's last 2 fights is against one of the greatest fighters of all time.
the
Usman fights. The first one, he hung in there with a 5-round fight. Usman had to basically hang on to him to keep that win. The second one, obviously, it was a classic knockout with Usman. But you can't let those 2 fights make you forget what he does against everybody else.
Yeah,
right?
you can't just look at that knockout from Usman.
No, and again, Kamaru Usman might go down as the greatest of all time. When it's all said and done, he might end up being the greatest fighter of all time. He might go up there and take a middleweight
Especially
title
now
or
he's
one
knocking
time.
foos out.
Right, or he might go down to one, or go up to 185 and win that title at one point. Especially if Izzy happens to lose it one time.
Man, but how
Could you imagine if Izzy ends up losing the title to that guy like Vettori or Costa, right?
yeah.
I could totally see Usman going up to go get that title.
Right.
you imagine
For
Edwards
sure.
he's so close, and then Masvidal beats him. Doesn't get
Is
a
he
title
that-
shot at all.
Look,
He's been bitching like I should be
Like
getting
Edwards
a title
has
shot.
a lot of wins in a row, but against who? You know, what I mean? He's not like beating those. He's ducking Burns. He wouldn't fight Burns. He didn't want to fight Wonder Boy. He didn't want to fight a lot of people. They had to take his title, his ranking away from to fight Hamzat. Like he's picking his fights. His biggest fight lately was Bilal Muhammad, and he
won
poked
a
him.
round.
To eye poke him.
Yeah.
Right? He ended the fight by eye poke. He already has lost to Usman too, right?
Yeah.
That's already happened. So Edwards, if he wins this fight, obviously give him that championship because again everybody else has already had their shot at Usman. But I think fucking Masvidal's going to knock him out.
It's gonna be a good fight.
We saw what Leon Edwards' chin is round 5 against Nate fucking Diaz, right? If Nate doesn't go post like this, that fight's over. He goes and finishes him. You know, Nate just want to show, haha, I got your ass. That's all he wanted to do. I think Masvidal knocks him out. And Masvidal is good when he hates people. When he hates a person and he's motivated, he's good.
Yeah, I mean, if Edwards can like weather the storm in the first round or
The
two,
odds on
maybe
this
he
are
takes him out later. But I agree. I think Masvidal is probably going to win that fight.
It's 3 rounds too. I think that favors Masvidal.
Yeah.
It's not a main event.
No, it's on the Poirier card, I think. The Poirier Oliveira card.
I just closed it at 270, right?
268, I think.
268.
That's on the Usman Covington.
Is it? Okay, so
No, it's not on that card.
It's on the Poirier and Oliveira.
Yeah, 269.
Yeah, 69.
Edwards is a minus 200 favorite.
Edwards?
He opened at minus 150. He's been bet up to minus 200. Edwards.
Keep it going. Keep it moving up. If you give me Masvidal like plus 300, oh, give me that all day.
And a knockout prop. Or something
Oh,
like that?
for sure. I'd play both.
Amanda Nunes minus 720.
What's her
Poirier
knockout? Minus 500?
That's a minus 720.
Poirier is a minus 160 and Moreno is a minus 160.
The props aren't out yet, right?
No, this is just best fight odds.
You guys see the Bader Anderson?
saw
I
the
saw.
clips.
Well, yeah, I did because
Yeah.
it was like 50 seconds long.
Yeah, I saw the clips.
Right. So.
I actually got noticed something on Twitter about Corey Anderson too.
And he's just.
I mean, this move's looking good for Anderson, right?
Oh, yeah, he's fighting against. He just beat the easiest fight in that division, right? Isn't that the famous quote?
Yeah.
Dana White told me, "What do you want, Daniel?" And I told him, "I want Ryan Bader. I want the easiest fight at 205. That's what I want." So.
Yeah, and they stop it. There it goes. So now that puts Nemkov and Anderson.
Nemkov kind of like John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
Yeah, who are these guys?
I think didn't you have? I want to say Tony or Mike had Anderson to win this thing, right?
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I
remember
think
who I
I
had. You have
was
to
like
go
where
back.
his bracket fit for him, you know, especially because if he got to the finals, he had already beaten Bader. Nemkov is a solid point fighter, but I think everything that he's good at, Anderson's a little bit better.
What happened with the Johnson Augusto thing?
Johnson never did it.
Johnson won, he knocked him out, and then Johnson had to pull out of the tournament. Anglicus was a fucking replacement. I think an injury.
Well, Augusto was a replacement to Romero, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then Johnson knocked him out. Remember, Augusto rocked Johnson, almost finished him, and Johnson comes back and gets that knockout. Then he got arrested, but he was still in the
credit
tournament.
card fraud or some shit.
Some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then he got the whatever cleared up. He was going to fight, but I think he had to pull out because of injury.
All
And
right.
Anglicus was a fucking last second replacement. Who I thought that should have been the first guy that Rumble fought, but they did tournament.
We already
There it
looked
is.
at this gnarly.
The brain vagina.
I'm over it.
Patty.
Patty the baddie.
Patty
the
says
baddie.
he's not fighting. He's got the sugar Sean disease. I'm not fighting top tens unless it's for 6 figures.
I mean, that makes sense.
It was in here. I think I saw it. Maybe I went too fast.
They're changing the game, right? It's their terms.
Yeah. Says he just won't fight top 10 opponent
Well,
without
didn't
a
he
new
just
lucrative contract. He's fought one fight in the UFC, right?
But he just signed a big deal with Barstool.
Oh,
A
did he?
huge 6-figure deal with Barstool. So now he's like, I got money, motherfucker. I can pick and choose what I want to do.
Yeah.
Got that fuck you
Yeah.
money.
But I wonder if there's like stipulation with them though that he has to be active in his career.
Well, he's gonna fight.
Yeah.
But he said, I'm not gonna fight a top 10, and I get it.
Right. Well, I mean, that I think kind of leads to this next thing. You know, Francis is saying he's got to borrow money for training camp for his next fight.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't see this shit.
Well, that's
against Gon.
Here's what I say to this.
Maybe.
I mean, we all know UFC fighters are underpaid, right? But Francis Ngannou, that's poor money management. To not have training camp. To not have training camp money.
How many people is he taking care of though? Made from back home and shit like that.
That's still poor money management. If you don't have it.
Well, how you deal with that though? People come out of the woodworks all of a sudden. You're from fucking rags.
Well,
to riches,
he doesn't have it yet, honestly, right? To pay for training, I'm not saying this guy should have mansions and this and that, but if you are having to borrow money for training camp,
so he's only accumulated $2.7 million. That's it.
so
That shit don't go far.
He should be able to pay for camp. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's rich right now, and I think he should be paid way more.
He got paid $58,000 against Stipe for UFC 260. That's what it says here.
But we don't know how true that is either. We'll never know exactly what they make.
That might be a bonus too.
Well, he goes,
and it doesn't really matter the actual number. Francis Ngannou is underpaid.
Sure.
100%. That's not an argument. But he should not be in that position.
Right.
That's where I'm getting at, right? That's for sure. He should be not have to fucking. He makes more money than I do.
There's probably a lot, like you said, poor management. They're just writing checks that they can't cash. Like they're spending money they ain't got yet.
Yeah, and
assuming
that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
And you're in a
And that's what I
volatile
mean.
industry.
Right.
You can get hurt.
Right.
Those fights aren't guaranteed to
Especially
come.
the heavyweight. They go by.
And you're driving
quick.
around this fucking $70,000, $80,000 car, you know,
Right.
living in this nice ass house. Now your mama's got a new
one
car.
thing he needs to fucking do is sell his life story to some fucking Hollywood producer for sure. That needs to happen because that's a hell of a story. But two, like they need to get paid more. You're not gonna hear argue against that for me, but he should have money to pay for his fucking training camp.
Well, I mean, I think he's
And only
definitely going
that-
to make the move to boxing, right? Because it's just going to pay him so
His
much more
fucking
money.
camp should be like, okay, we don't need to pay me. I'm going to train you. You're the heavyweight champion,
Right.
and we'll get me on the back end.
But it's
Yeah,
insane to
but
me.
then, he's going to get that big check, and it's all going to go away on the back end, right? Like,
Well, he's going to be headline. There's no way he made $58,000 in that CBA fight
I think that was just a bonus, man.
because he's on the pay. He's on the title fight. You're getting paid to be buying.
Six figures, yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he should be making more money. Hopefully,
He's
he's going to get
definitely
a
on
fat
points
check
now.
He's got to be making. I mean, you'd think he'd be making at least a couple $100,000 to fight Gon, right? Now that he's the
He should be getting
Even
5
when
and
you
5.
think, even when you think about that, like a couple $100,000, dude, that's the
nothing,
heavyweight
right?
champion of the fucking world, and this industry's way bigger than boxing.
No, I get that.
Lucrative-wise,
I know.
like,
First, listen, UFC
it's
fighters
nuts.
are vastly underpaid.
Yeah.
Vastly, terribly underpaid. But he should not be broke like that.
right.
There's somewhere in the middle. There's somewhere in the middle.
The thing is, like, Connor wrote the blueprint, but he also burned it at the same time. You know, it's like
Yeah, but Francis Ngannou's not the personality
Yeah.
that Connor is either.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it took that Mayweather fight for, I think, Connor to really get into the stratosphere, right?
yeah,
And Connor's just a force of nature.
yeah.
Right.
Like Francis is a force of nature in the cage, hitting people, but he's such a calm and quiet personality, and like even the story he was telling on Rogan was a great story, but his voice made me want to fall asleep
Yeah.
because he's so calm and nice. Like this guy should be fucking, be more vicious, be like
Just
be,
talk some
be
shit.
boisterous. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But again, he might be losing. That's the sad thing. I think he's gonna be losing his title fight too.
I think he's gonna lose too.
I think he's gonna lose too. I think he's gonna be flat class.
I mean, maybe that's not a bad thing for his pocketbook. He loses, and then he got to fight a couple of, he's beat everyone else.
No,
but-
because then he then has no negotiating power.
I think he's in trouble with these up and comers that are well rounded, like Gon and Dawkins and Aspinall, and these fast hand guys that can fucking hit for power, grapple you, move around
Yeah.
for 5 rounds.
Maybe he loses and he goes fights Jake Paul. Something gets into the boxing game,
I would love to see him and Deontay Wilder.
right?
That might be the best fight for Deontay too.
Right. Right.
That'd be
Two
something to see.
equalizers. Who's
Yeah.
gonna punch who first?
That'd be a great fight to watch.
Yeah, for sure, all day.
Oh, you're gonna get a big payday there, for sure. Well, let's keep rolling here.
Borrowing,
Chuck
you're in a
Liddell
bad spot,
gets
my man.
arrested. We talked about it last week on domestic violence, but the rumor is that his wife was beating him up.
I mean, I had it as a split decision myself.
I
but-
was the victim.
Yeah.
He goes, quote, I was the victim of the incident last night at our family home. As of details of the case will reveal, the deputies informed me that my wife would be arrested as I did not respond to her assault while I sustained bruising and lacerations.
she
I
beat his
volunteered to
ass.
go in her place.
Well, good for him.
I tried to shield my family. So Chuck Liddell is now filing for divorce.
Man, that's sad. God damn.
Well, I mean, good for him. The fact that he did not lose his shit and throw a haymaker, or
Right.
and cause some serious damage. He was able to hold back. Let's be honest, she wasn't hurting him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's been hit by way
Right.
bigger, way harder,
Yeah.
fucking
But you
grown
never
ass
know that
man.
if that gets triggered though too. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm going back in that fucking fight mode.
Yeah, ego thing, too. Like,
Or just a fucking
Yeah.
he's a habit.
Yeah.
Really, like somebody hits me, I hit him back. You know.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be like a long, drawn-out divorce. She's going to, they're going to be fighting over everything. And we may see Chuck Liddell fight Jake Paul here pretty soon.
That's where it's going.
This is kind of reassuring for me because obviously coming up UFC, like Chuck Liddell is one of my favorite guys when I first started watching and coming up.
Yeah.
He's always been known as kind of a good dude, cool guy too. So that
Yeah.
if he's sitting there smacking his wife around, that kind of takes that away a little bit. And it's like another person, like, damn, I can't be a fan of this person anymore now. So the fact that he kind of the story flips kind of reassuring for me. It's, obviously it sucks for him.
Did we talk
personally,
about
but-
them? Yeah, well, I guess we did. They released Pena.
Yeah.
But they're keeping Jones. And, everybody knows why, for the most part.
Oh, did
They released Pena. They released Pena.
Yeah,
They
Pena got cut.
They cut him after the second arrest.
Oh, man.
And Jones has had how many now?
Well, I mean, life
What
isn't
did they
fair.
say? He's like 0-6 or something. An arrest, Vegas trips or something.
Yeah, life's not fair. We know it.
Yeah, we know how it goes.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Last but not least, fucking Conor
Francesco
McGregor.
Faccinetti.
Maybe
a
Conor
fucking
and
name
Chuck
right
So
there.
does it say why they these guys?
So this DJ I was reading earlier today said they were hanging out for a couple hours, and then the DJ's claiming out of nowhere we talked about going to some other place, some other bar or party or something, and he just punched me in the face and broke my nose, and everybody was like, "What the fuck's happening?"
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I took a punch for nothing. The punch could go to anyone, my friends, my wife, and I decided to sue because he's a violent and dangerous person, and probably because he has hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah. I mean,
Then out of nowhere, he threw a punch in my face, the face of Francisco. He was invited. He was inviting us to another party. Okay, let's go, and he hit him. Luckily, Francisco was very close, so Conor couldn't load up on the punch, but still broke his nose apparently. Francisco flew back, fell on the table, and then was on the ground. The first thing that came to mind was like, "Are we kidding? Is it a show?" Then I was paralyzed. I don't know if he means figuratively.
I had
I'd
to
hope
be
so.
figuratively.
I saw his friends were holding him back. Then they took him away, and now he's gonna sue him. So, I don't know. I mean, you hate to see.
There's got to be
Conor.
more context to that.
You'd think
I
there'd be
mean, Conor is going around fighting people.
He needs to stop doing that.
Like we had MGK at the what's that MTV Awards?
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah.
I mean,
GK, he fucking
the old dude that didn't like his whiskey.
Yeah.
right. That
The
guy.
dolly.
The
I mean,
dolly.
obviously.
He threw the chair through the bus.
We didn't even talk about
window.
his Twitter tirade that he was going on, talking about Dagestanis, talking about their inbred and all kinds of crazy shit going back and forth to Ali, which we should talk about Sean Strickland's fucking
God.
video to fucking Bilal Muhammad.
Ugh,
I don't know.
those
He wants to
two.
do weird things with him in the desert. But yeah, Conor's. I think he looks like a man who's not falling from grace, but falling even deeper down into some pit that we don't know how deep it goes because he's just grasping at anything he
It's such a
possibly can.
phenomenon, right? I mean, it's oldest tale of time: money, fame. Get
He
some people.
won.
I mean,
some
is he
people
doing
can't.
it to stay relevant, or is he doing it because he's fucking stupid?
I think it's desperation. It's not even to stay relevant. I think he feels like everything's slipping away, and he's
I mean,
Yeah.
and it is right.
and he's
He's-
but
he's
it's
an
really
afterthought.
not. You won. You
Yeah.
have the money in the bank. You won the game.
But that's probably not what
And
it's
you're
about.
healthy.
It's not what it's about for him.
But
though.
you're healthy. You got more money than any UFC fighter you could think of ever, right? You're young still.
He
He's in
wants
his
to be-
early
He wants to be
30s.
talked about.
He could have a fucking podcast that people will love it.
yeah,
Like there's so
Yeah.
many things he can do to be famous.
He just even walk around and get attention. you know?
Yeah, he can go to WWE.
Yeah.
right.
He can do wrestling. He can do all that shit. If you really wanted that fucking buzz and like, you won the game. You won the lottery. Go chill, enjoy it. You got two
I mean,
young
that's
kids.
what we all think, but what's
Like, and you can still, if you want the fame, you can still have the fame.
right?
That could not, you can pick and choose fight. You can fight.
I mean,
in
maybe the
UFC.
one thing he wants he can't get, which is he wants the fame, but he also wants to be the baddest man on the planet. And it's
Well,
just
that he never
not
was.
in the cards.
Yeah. No.
That he never was. At 155, you're never gonna be the baddest man on the planet.
No.
Well, he wanted to be
The baddest little man on the planet.
At 155.
Yeah. You got to
And
be
we
a
already know
heavyweight.
that's
Why
Hasbulla.
there
We
he
already know
was.
it's Hasbulla.
Yeah.
You know?
So you ain't in that heavyweight division. You ain't the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah.
right.
Ain't no
well,
fucking lightweight beating no fucking heavyweight.
No,
not
there's weight
trained
classes
fighters.
for,
There's no way.
There's a weight classes for a reason.
You want to talk about everyday civilians? Okay, but
yeah,
trained fighters, this shit ain't happening.
even everyday civilians, it kind of fucks you. Look at that big fat dude that fucked that BJ Penn.
Yeah.
That big fat dude fucked BJ Penn up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then you just mentioned the Sean Strickland below Muhammad thing here.
Yeah. So apparently, Bilal tried to take Rockhold's spot at UFC 260, whatever they were gonna fight at, and then they started going back and forth. And Danny went loud because the weight class up, and then Sean Strickland made some comments about fucking Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to this is all kind of weird.
But it all
it's a hot mess, man.
Like, yeah,
it was a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it was not a friendly Palestinian tweet for sure.
Yeah,
it was very, very offensive, we will say. But then it led to some crazy fucking video where he's talking about he wants to take him to the desert in Vegas and do weird things to him.
And he said it's like not in a homosexual way. I just really enjoy this on the inside. I can't explain it.
Yeah, it's
like
been a
some
fantasy
weird
for
shit.
so long. Like,
yeah, I want to make you an offer. You're going to be amazed.
There you go.
You can meet up in the desert, dude, and we can do some weird shit together. Said on Instagram, because it's like this is something that I've always fantasized about you, you know, and now, and you are like a gazelle that wants to be a lion, and you're accepting what I want you to do. And dude, I want to do some weird shit to you, man. Like, oh man, it was just so exciting. You're just okay with me doing it. There's some other things I fantasized about for a long time. And I feel like you're going to let me do it to you.
I'm not here to judge, but that's some shit right there.
I mean, that'll get in your head, right?
Maybe now I know why Orlando Sanchez tried to break his arm, right?
Yeah.
He probably tried to do some weird shit to Orlando, and this Orlando's wanting to break his fucking wrist. Well, I mean, Sean Strickland is now starting to come off. I love him as a fighter too, man.
It's gonna be a ploy to,
I think he's not a likable person.
Yeah,
I think that's what's starting to show up. That's
yeah.
what's starting to show up. And he's not like the type of guy like, a Kevin Holland who's a funny shit talker. He is just not. I mean, the man can fight.
Honestly, man, I think it's going to be very intimate, not sexually. We should do it in private. Like, I will be turned on, but not in a gay way. It's hard to explain. I don't know.
An
I'm
adrenaline
in some
rush.
Weird shit. Don't judge me. I woke up thinking about you in a strange
I don't know. Mike
way.
Tyson just talked about getting hard when he's fighting people. Because hurting people makes him hard. Mike Tyson has said this. So maybe this is what happens with Sean Strickland. Who knows?
Well, Russell Brand said it about BJJ too. He's like, I'd never even thought about homosexuality, but BJJ made me question it. He's like Henry Gracie. He's like, I just love him when he uses his body the way he does and shit.
Man, I've done a lot of rounds. I've done a lot of jiu-jitsu rounds, and I will tell you, the last thing I'm talking about is fucking.
I was like, maybe he conveyed that the wrong way. I'm like, I could get enjoying the intimacy of BJJ, but being turned on by it, you're sexually aroused. It's a little weird.
No, I mean, it definitely tests you. Right? Jiu-jitsu lets you know. Maybe he's just in there for Russell Brand. I mean, there's eyeliner and stuff like that a lot, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's just in there for him. And if you have that in you, jiu-jitsu will bring it out because you're going to be in some tricky situations. Yeah. I mean, North-South is just a good old-fashioned 69,
Yeah, you're
right?
getting teabagged. You're getting Kimura and you're getting teabagged.
Yeah,
it's like pain and pleasure at the same time if you're into it.
It'll be the best position to be is called the mount. So,
Here, suck my balls while I break your arm. Come on.
So if you have some of that in you, it's going to come out for sure. So maybe Mr. Brand has found it. But me, I'm more worried about people choking my life out. I'll tell you that. Choke or be choked.
This is some weird shit. It's some
Yeah,
weird
then,
shit.
hey, there's that too, right? There's that too. I mean, there's people have died. They've died trying to get that choke. To me,
Yeah.
if you're in that David Carradine style, I mean, jiu-jitsu might be the thing for you.
Well, on that note,
just hanging
Dude,
out.
we're
right?
all just having our own human experience, man. Who are we to judge?
We're
That's
just-
his. Whatever.
Yeah,
what makes you happy.
You do you, man.
Let's do some DMT and get hard.
Let's get intimate in the desert.
Fuck, man, what the hell's going on, Strong? Who knows? That motorcycle accident, maybe fucking hit a button in his brain, he's gone. Who knows the fuck?
Maybe he's normal and we're not.
It doesn't even sound like a fucking murder way. That's what it sounds like to me. Like, I'm gonna cut your skin off.
Yeah, and
Like,
where?
always
Buffalo Bob.
Buffalo Bill.
Bill,
yeah.
Bob, whatever his
Buffalo
name
Bill.
is.
That's what it sounds like to me.
sounds like
It puts
always
the
sunny.
lotion
Like,
on the
we're gonna have
skin.
we want dudes to come to our mansion.
Yeah.
Nothing sexual.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
Well, that wraps it up this week for In the Guard.
We have more fights to talk about in the card last week or last night, I should say.
Yeah, well, is that fight is this coming week, right? Weekend. Costa
Vettori. Then we got the Jan and Teixeira, and then right after that, it's gonna be the big boys.
Hoyovich.
What day is that on?
It's a Saturday. It's the 30th is the. It's technically not a pay per view. It's free too. That's what you guys take advantage of that. UFC 260. What is it? 7? Yeah, 267. That's free.
Oh, the 6th is Usman Covington. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's back to back weeks.
Is 30th? That's the day before Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Halloween's the 31st always.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, that's technically UFC 67. But again, if you have ESPN Plus, it's free.
My boy Pivion.
Sandhagen,
Islam.
Volkov.
It's a good card.
It's early too.
This is
It's
a,
the afternoon card.
this is a great card.
Yeah.
Well, it's obviously they're doing it for the Russian
There'll
market.
be a lot of fights not going to decision on this one.
Oh yeah, I mean the main card. I don't think any one of them is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week. This is in the
The
good.
odds would be though.
We're about to go to the fucking desert and do some weird shit. That's what we're
Nothing
gonna do.
sexual.